Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of entertainment icons. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on a true original, Lou Reed, the legendary musician, singer, songwriter, and poet who left an indelible mark on the music world. With his unique blend of avant-garde sensibilities and raw rock energy, Reed's innovative spirit continues to inspire generations of musicians and fans alike. Born on March 2, 1944, in Brooklyn, New York. Louis Allen Reed grew up in a middle-class family in Freeport, Long Island. His father, Toby Reed, was an accountant, and his mother, Toby, was a homemaker. The Reeds were a culturally Jewish family, and Lou's upbringing was marked by a strong emphasis on education and the arts. As a child, Reed was fascinated by music, particularly jazz and rock and roll, and he spent hours listening to the radio and playing along with his favorite records. Reed's early life was also shaped by his relationship with his parents. His father, Toby, was a strict disciplinarian who encouraged Lou's interest in music, but also pushed him to pursue more traditional academic pursuits. Reed's mother, Toby, was a free-spirited woman who nurtured her son's creative talents and encouraged him to explore the arts. This complex dynamic between his parents would later influence Reed's songwriting, as he often explored themes of identity, rebellion, and the search for artistic expression. As Reed entered his teenage years, he became increasingly fascinated with literature and poetry. He devoured the works of authors like Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, and William S. Burroughs, and he began to write his own poetry and short stories. In 1959, Reed graduated from Freeport High School and enrolled at New York University, where he studied English literature and philosophy. However, it was during his time at Syracuse University, which he attended from 1960 to 1964, that he began to explore his interests in music and writing more seriously. At Syracuse, Reed befriended Delmore Schwartz, a poet and professor who would become a significant influence on his writing style and artistic perspective. Schwartz, known for his intense personality and exacting standards, pushed Reed to explore the depths of human experience through his work, laying the groundwork for the poetic realism that would characterize much of Reed's songwriting. Their relationship was complex, with Schwartz serving as both a mentor and a father figure to Reed. Reed's college years were also marked by his introduction to the burgeoning avant-garde scene in New York City. He spent countless hours exploring the city's vibrant cultural landscape, attending performances at the Café Bazaar and the Village Vanguard, and immersing himself in the works of artists like Andy Warhol and John Cage. This exposure would later influence his work with the Velvet Underground, as he sought to merge the raw energy of rock music with the experimental spirit of the avant-garde. As we explore the early life of Lou Reed, it becomes clear that the seeds of his later success were sown in these formative years. The intersection of his suburban upbringing, his passion for music and literature, and his exposure to avant-garde ideas created a unique cultural landscape that would inform his work. With his creative foundation laid, Reed was poised on the cusp of a career that would challenge, inspire, and sometimes provoke audiences around the world. As Reed entered the vibrant New York City music scene in the mid-1960s, he was poised to merge his diverse influences into a unique sound. It was during this period that he met John Cale, a Welsh musician and composer who shared Reed's passion for experimental music. Together, they formed the Velvet Underground, a band that would become synonymous with the city's underground art scene. The Velvet Underground's early years were marked by their association with Andy Warhol, the renowned artist and filmmaker who became their mentor and manager. Warhol's Factory, a legendary studio and gathering place for artists, musicians, and misfits, provided the perfect environment for the Velvet Underground to develop their sound. With Warhol's guidance, the band began to experiment with new forms of music, incorporating elements of noise, dissonance, and avant-garde poetry into their work. In 1967, the Velvet Underground released their debut album, The Velvet Underground and Nico, which featured the iconic song Heroin. This album, although not a commercial success at the time, would later be recognized as a groundbreaking work that influenced generations of musicians. Reed's lyrics, with their poetic realism and unflinching exploration of themes like addiction, sexuality, and urban alienation, set a new standard for songwriting. As the Velvet Underground continued to evolve, Reed's creative vision became more pronounced. He began to explore new sounds and styles, incorporating elements of glam rock, punk, and art rock into the band's music. Albums like White Light, White Heat, and The Velvet Underground showcased the band's growing experimentation and innovation. However, tensions within the band, particularly between Reed and Cale, eventually led to Cale's departure in 1968. Reed, now the dominant creative force behind the Velvet Underground, continued to push the boundaries of rock music with albums like Loaded and Squeeze. In 1970, Reed left the Velvet Underground to pursue a solo career, marking a new chapter in his artistic journey. His debut album, Lou Reed, released in 1972, was followed by the critically acclaimed Transformer, which featured the hit single Walk on the Wild Side. This song, with its catchy melody and provocative lyrics, became an anthem for the city's LGBTQ community and cemented Reed's status as a rock icon. Throughout the 1970s, Reed continued to release innovative and influential albums, including Berlin, Sally Can't Dance, and Metal Machine Music. His music, with its raw energy, poetic lyrics, and experimental spirit, inspired a new generation of musicians, from David Bowie to Talking Heads. As we explore Lou Reed's rise to fame, it becomes clear that his innovative spirit, creative risk-taking, and uncompromising artistry were the driving forces behind his success. From the Velvet Underground to his solo career, Reed consistently pushed the boundaries of rock music, leaving an indelible mark on the genre. As we enter the later years of Lou Reed's life, we find him continuing to experiment and innovate in his music. The 1980s saw the release of albums such as The Blue Mask and Legendary Hearts, which featured a more stripped-down, rock-oriented sound. Reed also began to explore new themes in his lyrics, including love, relationships, and social commentary. One notable example from this period is the song Dirty BLVD, from the album New York, Jazz. This song, with its vivid portrayal of urban decay and social inequality, showcases Reed's ability to craft compelling narratives that capture the essence of city life. The album New York itself was a critical and commercial success, and it marked a resurgence in Reed's career. In addition to his music, Reed also became known for his personal struggles during this period. He had long been open about his experiences with addiction and substance abuse, and he continued to grapple with these issues throughout the 1980s and 1990s. However, despite these challenges, Reed remained a prolific and innovative artist, always pushing the boundaries of what was possible in rock music. In the 1990s and 2000s, Reed continued to release new music, including albums such as Magic and Loss and Ecstasy. He also collaborated with other artists, including Laurie Anderson, with whom he had a long-term relationship. Anderson, a renowned musician and performance artist in her own right, brought a new level of creativity and experimentation to Reed's work, and their collaborations resulted in some truly innovative music. Reed's legacy as a rock legend only continued to grow in the years leading up to his passing in 2013. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, both as a member of the Velvet Underground and as a solo artist, and he received numerous awards and accolades for his contributions to music. Today, Lou Reed's music remains widely popular and influential, with artists such as David Bowie, Talking Heads, and REM citing him as a major inspiration. His innovative spirit, creative risk-taking, and uncompromising artistry continue to inspire new generations of musicians and fans alike. As we look back on his remarkable journey, it's clear that Lou Reed was a true rock legend, a master songwriter and performer who left an indelible mark on the world of music. In conclusion, Lou Reed's later years were marked by continued experimentation, personal struggles, and enduring legacy as a rock legend. Through his music, he remained a powerful voice for social commentary, love, and relationships, always pushing the boundaries of what was possible in rock music. His influence can still be felt today, and his music remains a testament to his innovative spirit and creative genius. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.